What's up, everybody? Match the Gamer here to review Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 9. And a lot of interesting things happen in this chapter. I'm sure a lot of you have heard reviews from other big Dragon Ball YouTubers and such like that, but I'm just going to give my thoughts on it and try to keep this quick and brief, because as you know, today, whenever this video is uploaded, of course, I will be doing a live stream of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, being as today is the 1-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Xenoverse North American release for consoles. It is the 27th for PC, but I'm concerned with consoles since that's what I play on. Anyways, that said, let's get into the chapter. So the chapter opens up, of course, with Goku proceeding to get ready to fight Batomo. Batomo charges at him, and, you know, just a few quick hits and punches. Goku's easily overtaking Batomo in terms of strength. Like, he has no issues fighting Batomo, but we come to find out that, of course, Batomo is very bouncy. He's like rubber or something, like a super bouncy ball. I would compare him to like that of Fat Boo to a degree whenever Goku fought him in Super Saiyan 3 to kind of give you an idea. I will be throwing images up so that way you can kind of get an idea of what I mean here. Anyways, so Batomo, of course, after being hit, flips, lands. Goku, of course, gets a little mad, says, "Oh, you don't actually do anything." So then he tries to fire Kamehameha, which does absolutely nothing except make him bounce some more. So everybody's like, okay, what should Goku do? Goku's not even sure what he should do. And of course, Roshi points out that if Batomo doesn't get damaged, then the stamina doesn't decrease. And of course, at the same time, since Goku's unable to really effectively damage him, Goku's going to end up tiring himself out. Krillin then, of course, points out that Goku still hasn't even turned Super Saiyan yet. And then, of course, Vegeta then points out to Krillin, we don't know if he could deal any damage if he turns into a Super Saiyan. And like everybody's like shocked by this. So the match continues on for a while until Goku's like, oh, he has an idea. So he simply shoves Batomo over, which of course also confuses Piccolo, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis. And even Batomo himself, whom also proceeds to say this doesn't hurt at all. Goku then proceeds to start dragging Batomo by his feet to the edge of the ring. Batomo, of course, tries to stop it and proceeds to shoot some, what I'm assuming are basic ki blasts at Goku, whom easily dodges it without looking. He then gets going right to the edge of the ring, and then Goku goes to let him go, which then Batomo then turns around, gets up to swing at him while saying bastard. Goku grabs him by the arm and then throws him over his shoulder, thus throwing him out of the ring, which ends up making Goku the victor of this match. Everybody is, of course, shocked by this, but, you know, victory is a victory. Piccolo and Vegeta seemed a little bugged by the fact Goku won using this method. Goku, of course, is announced the victor. Whis points out, oh, he used his head, as Beerus also points this out as well. Of course, this tits off Champa, whom then proceeds to say, grr, damn you, at Batomo, who is walking away sad. We then see the next opponent, of course, is going to be Frost, the Frieza race character that was introduced to the series. So he proceeds to come in. But while he's on the way, Goku proceeds to look over at Hit, giving him this look of, like, seriousness. I don't know if Goku senses something bad about him or what, but Goku clearly sees something about him he doesn't like. So Frost gets in the ring, and, of course, Tien and everybody's like, oh, that's the Frieza, that's Universe 6 is Frieza, right? So everybody's looking at him, he's got a serious face, and he cracks a smile, and he goes, nice to meet you, to Goku, and Goku's, of course, confused by this, and goes, yeah, nice to meet you too. He goes, let's do our best, and, like, everybody's shocked by how polite Frost is, surprisingly. He's very much different from Frieza in terms of how he acts and handles himself. He's very polite. Very polar opposite of Frieza. So the match begins, and, of course, Frost doesn't seem to transform at the start, he just comes rushing at Goku. Goku, of course, remaining in base form, gets in a fighting stance, and they are throwing punches and kicks at each other. Pretty standard battle stuff. Goku gets majority hits in, but then, of course, Frost charges at Goku, runs past him. Goku's like, huh? And then Frost, like most Frieza race characters, I'm assuming, whom are proficient in using their tail in combat, wraps his tail around Goku's ankle and pulls it out from underneath him and goes to, like, throw him and then kick him. Goku, of course, manages to, you know, regain control of the situation, and they proceed to go back and forth again fighting. This fight continues for a bit while everybody's analyzing the situation. Whis points out that they aren't showing their full skill, and Beerus, of course, gets mad and says, that's stupid, hurry up and finish it. fight continues, and everybody's having a hard time keeping up with their speed, excluding, of course, Champa, Vados, and Whis and Beerus, whom obviously are the strongest four there. So the battle continues, and we see him, of course, appear, disappear, throwing kicks and punches, etc. Eventually, Frost goes to guard against an attack from Goku, but Goku ends up flying past what he assumed where he was going to hit, and then Goku punches Frost in the gut, thus sending him flying back. Frost trying to catch his breath after he had his wind knocked out of him, and then Goku goes, "I thought so." Frost, of course, confused, goes, "What do you mean?" Goku says, "You seem to be measuring my true strength." Frost, of course, tries to bluff and say he's denying it. He's like, I'm not doing no such thing. And then Goku, of course, says, "Transform into that final thing." Obviously pointing out that, yeah, he knows that Frost can transform thanks to fighting Frieza. He goes, "You're thinking about transforming little by little by watching what your opponent's like, right?" And then Frost goes, "How is it you know that?" And he goes, "In our universe, I fought someone that looked just like you." "I see, so that's why," says Frost. "If you go at your pace, you'll be defeated before using your true strength," Goku says. And then, of course, Frost says, "Thank you for the advice." He goes into, not his final form, but his, Frieza's third form, if I remember correctly. It's a form that looks like the Xenomorph alien from the, Alien movie franchise, if you're familiar with that. It looks very similar to it, yet different in some other ways. So Frost transforms into it, and Goku's, a little confused because that doesn't look anything like Frieza's final form. Bear in mind, Goku was not there to see that transformation of Frieza's. He came in at the final transformation. Vegeta, of course, who was there for that transformation, goes, "That bastard, final form my ass, taking us for fools." So, Piccolo even knows about that and says, that makes him remember bad stuff. Krillin, of course, points out what I just said, that Goku wasn't there for that particular transformation. Frost is like, "This good." Goku's a little disappointed. And then Frost also goes to ask, "By the way, the other Mead that you fought over there, did you win against him?" And Goku goes, he goes, "Did he beat you?" Goku goes, "It's best not to ask that." Frost goes, like that. He goes, "Seems he didn't win. Well, we'll go that way with me." Goku proceeds to get into a fighting stance. They go back to fighting again. Vados and Champa are sitting there, of course, saying, "Oh, they're winning." And then the Kais from Universe 6 proceed to talk to Elder Kai from Universe 7 and say, "Oh, it looks like our fighter's winning." Of course, Elder Kai goes, "Is that so?" smiling at him. So Frost proceeds to shoot beams at Goku. Goku gets back up like nothing happened, smiles. Then he goes, "Thank you," shakes off a little bit there, cracks his neck and all that. He goes, I'm a bit of a slow starter. By the way, you're hiding one more transformation, aren't you? Thinking about the next match and preserving your strength, right? Such an unpleasant guy." And he goes, "Unpleasant? Yeah, just like me," says Goku. And then Goku changes into a Super Saiyan. Of course, this shocks everybody because apparently nobody has seen a Super Saiyan in Universe 6. Not even Champa and Vado, surprisingly. And then even the Kais from Universe 6 are shocked by this, so Goku charges at him. And as Goku charges at him, Frost then proceeds to, power up and change into his true final form, which again looks very similar to Frieza's final form. Goku, of course, stops before getting close to him because he's changed. And now Goku, of course, goes, "I thought so. Finally, a form I will remember." And that's where the chapter ends. So overall, I really like this chapter. We learned a lot more about the Frieza race. Based on this, we can assume that all Frieza race aliens are similar in terms of all the transformations. They're not 100% the same, but similar enough in appearance. So that may also answer a long question of, was King Cold in his final form, or was that his secondary form? Now granted, these are Frost, King Cold, and Frieza are the only Frieza race characters we have seen canonically in the series, but who knows? Maybe we'll get introduced to more. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyways, make sure to, like, rate, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff. Check out the official Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch pages. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of this manga chapter. If you liked it, if you hated it, if you wanted to learn more, less, etc., etc. So I don't know what else to say in regards to that, guys, but make sure to check out the live stream, which should be going on after this is uploaded. So, yeah, peace. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.